Hey guys, how are you doing? Last week we talked about the tabernacle. Do y'all remember that? How it was a big tent structure and they used it to worship God, but they could pack it up and carry it around with them as they traveled through the desert. Well, for those of y'all in Sunday school, you've seen this, but I have a little model of the tabernacle. It's nothing special, but it is pretty cool to look at. And I'd like to show you, and I'll show you some of the pieces inside that were in the actual tabernacle, and I'll let you know what they were and why they were there. So it's set up in the other room. I'll take the phone and we'll go take a look at it. Let's go. Okay, so here's the model I was telling you about. Now you can see, if you look, different people walking around. Some of them are in white. These are the priests, the Levites that were in charge of worship. And do you notice these animals in here? We got sheep, goats, and some cattle. They were used as sacrifices. And they would be sacrificed on this big bronze, I guess we'd call it a barbecue grill, but that's where they would sacrifice the animals. And over here is a bronze basin, and in that the priest would ceremonially wash to be cleansed. Now what do you think this structure is over here? Yes, this is the tabernacle itself. I'm going to take off the top. Try not to knock anything over. And what do you see? It's kind of hard to tell. Two different rooms, right? This big one had the table of showbread, the menorah, the altar of incense, and then there's this big cloth curtain that separated that from what we call the Holy of Holies, this smaller room back here. And that is where they kept the Ark of the Covenant. And you see right here, this guy is the high priest. So he was the one that would go back once a year and offer sacrifices for the sins of the community. So all the Israelites would be clean again. I'm going to pull out some of these items here and place them on the table so it'll be easier to see. So one moment. All right, we're going to start with the most popular piece that was in the tabernacle, and that's the Ark of the Covenant. This was very special to the Israelites. They would take it into battle with them, and they would carry it around. And to them it symbolized Yahweh's presence. This was the piece that stayed in the Holy of Holies, that only the high priest could go in at one time a year. And the Israelites saw God coming and putting his feet or residing on the Ark of the Covenant. So this is where Yahweh came to meet with Israel. The next piece, the table of incense. Now, this piece and the other two that follow have quite a bit of symbolism. The idea of the tabernacle was you wanted to make it a very pleasant place for God to come and visit when he came to meet with the high priest. So the table of incense was used to light very nice smelling, very special smells for Yahweh when he came and visited with the high priest, to help make it smell good. Because in the old times, there's a lot of things that didn't smell good, especially if you have a lot of sacrifices going on outside. It wasn't probably the best smelling place to be. So this made the tent smell real nice. The next is the golden lampstand. Now the golden lampstand was used, you probably can figure out, to light up the tent. Inside there, they didn't have electricity, so they had a golden lampstand that had room for 7 different candles. So they would light the candles, and it would provide enough light for the priests to do what they needed to do inside the tabernacle. Finally, the table of showbread. Now, the table of showbread, kind of hearkening back to the idea of making it a pleasant place for Yahweh, they would make cakes of bread for Yahweh when he came in, and the idea being that they are giving him a pleasant place to be. This is food to eat, although Yahweh doesn't need food and he never ate the food. The idea was that they were still going out of their way to make it a pleasant place for him to come and visit them. So the tent itself was a pretty impressive place to be. All these different artifacts we were looking at are overlaid with gold. Ta-da. So that's what a few of the pieces were for. And when we come back on Sunday, we'll talk even more over the next coming weeks. I know that was a pretty quick explanation of the tabernacle and what some of the items were on the inside, but I hope that model gives you a better understanding of what it looked like and how they might have walked around, and when you read the Bible, you have a better idea of what they're talking about. So I hope y'all have a good one. Look forward to seeing y'all on Sunday, and we'll talk later. Bye.